press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello dear children, today I am here with you again with the same lesson, the happy cube. In the previous session we have completed half of the lesson. Today let's go on to the next part of the lesson. Okay. So the lesson it tells us about one foolish king, as you have already come to know. In the lesson you will get one foolish king, and what he was doing, he was lying on the bed saying that I am already at the door of the death. I have a disease, I am a diseased person, I have a sharp pain in my muscle and a pricking pain in my bone, and I can't live, I am going to die now. In that way he is groaning and moaning, right? And but the truth is he doesn't have any disease. Actually he doesn't have any work to do, and he was being bored to death. Many of the physicians and surgeons came. They looked at the king's throat, felt his pulse, tapped his chest, and they hemmed and hawed. They couldn't find nothing wrong in the king. And the king, he called them as the dolls. These are really stupid persons. And he asked for the plain ordinary doctors. And again the plain ordinary doctors, they came from each and every corner of the kingdom. They also did the same thing. They looked at the king's throat, they felt his pulse, they tapped his chest, they took off their spectacles and put them on again. They also didn't find nothing wrong, and the king shouted on them, telling them as these are idiots, these do not know how to find the disease. And he shouted and told that next one who comes to me and tells me that you do not have any disease, I will cut their ears and I will short their nose. And finally, a simple old woman comes to see the king, and that simple old woman, she is very wise, very intelligent and very smart. She looks at the king, she peered into the king's face, she looked very closely into the king's face, and she said, "Oh, your majesty, you are suffering from a strange and rare disease. So strange it is, so rare it is. And that disease, no, it doesn't have any name, because she only herself, she doesn't know which disease is it." So that very wisely she says, and finally she prescribes the medicine. What is the medicine? What is the cure suggested by that simple old woman? She said, "So king, you have to sleep one night." How? In the night, wearing the shirt of a happy man, you have to sleep one night. So this is the prescription given by that simple old woman. Okay, look at the next part. The king summoned the captain of his guard and his bravest soldiers, the best courtiers in the land, and the swiftest messengers and heralds. So the king, what did he do is, when he comes to know about the medicine for his disease, so immediately, very immediately, he calls for a meeting. Observe the word summoned there, S-U-M-M-O-N-E-D. So summoned means, in the glossary they have given, to call for a meeting. Who called for a meeting here? The king. He arranges, he calls for a meeting, and in the meeting, who came? The captain of his guards, okay, one who guards the kingdom, one who guards the palace, the captain, okay, the leader, the captain of his guard, bravest soldier. So bravest, very brave, very courageous. Bravest means very courageous soldiers, and the best courtiers, very best. All the superlative adjectives are used here. Bravest, best, both are adjectives, right? Soldiers, how the soldiers are? Soldiers are bravest or the bravest. Courtiers means, I have told you, in the glossary also they have given a person who is a part of the king's court. In Kannada we say Asthanikaru, Asthanadalli antavaru. Okay. The swiftest messengers, swiftest, underline that word, swiftest. Swiftest means very fastest. Okay. So swiftest messengers means, you know, a person who carries a message, and herald. Herald means the same meaning, a person who carries a message. Example, Deccan Herald. It is a newspaper, right? What it carries? It carries a news. It carries a message. It carries a news. So what did the king do when he comes to know about the cure? When he comes to know about the medicine for his disease, he calls for a meeting. He calls for the captain of his guard, the bravest soldiers, the best courtiers, and the fastest messengers and heralds. And he is commanding. He is ordering all of them. Start off at once. He commanded them, and bring me back the shirt of a happy man. And mind you, don't return without it, he added darkly. So king, he is commanding very, very strictly. He is giving an order. He is commanding all those people, start up at once. At once you have to start now itself. You have to leave this place and you go and search for the shirt of a happy man. To get the shirt, whom they want to find, they have to find now. They have to find the man who is having the shirt, the happy man's shirt. He is commanding them. What he is doing? Go, start off at once, go and bring me back the shirt. Whose shirt? The shirt of a happy man. And mind means keep in your mind. You should not return without the shirt. He added darkly. Observe the word darkly there. Darkly means very strictly. Very strictly he is ordering, he is commanding all those people, go and bring me back the shirt of a happy man, otherwise you should not return. You don't return without the shirt. Very strictly he is ordering. So that word darkly is an example for adverb, because added is a verb that is in the past form. Added is a verb. How he added? He added darkly. Darkly is an adverb. Adverb means a verb which describes an action. He added darkly. Darkly, it is describing about the verb added there. Then it is an example for adverb. The soldiers and courtiers, messengers and heralds travelled far and wide, from east to west, from north to south, across seas and deserts, through cities and over mountains, from one end of the kingdom to the other, but no way could they find a happy man. They sent long reports to the king, and this is what they said. So what did they do? All the soldiers, courtiers, messengers, heralds, they started to travel. They started to travel from east to west, from north to south, from one end of the kingdom to the other, through the woods, through the forest, over the mountains, through cities and also the deserts. Observe there, across the seas and deserts. So each and every line here tells us about they didn't leave a single place. What they are doing? They are traveling each and every part of the entire kingdom, throughout the kingdom. What they are doing? They are traveling from east to west, north to south, across seas, through the deserts and through the cities, over the mountains, from one end of the kingdom to the other. But no way, they are not at all finding a happy man, and they didn't return. They are so intelligent. The king has told we should not return without the shirt. So that they didn't return, and they used to send the reports staying there itself. They used to write the reports, they used to send the reports to the king. Why they are not finding the happy man? And they sent long reports to the king, and this is what they said. So in the next you are coming to know about the reports, why the people are not happy. Okay, I will read that. Look at that. The people in the east might be happy if your majesty didn't tax them so heavily. So the soldiers or the messengers, heralds who went to the east, they wrote a message and they sent to the king. They said, those reports said that the people in the east direction, all the people, they are not happy, because what they are doing the work, they are earning the money, but whatever they are earning, they are paying the king as a tax. The king has laid a heavy tax on them, so that they are not happy. Yes, whatever we earn, if we pay that as a tax, means we won't feel happy. We want money for our survival, for our daily needs, right? In the same way here, all the people in the east, they are not happy because whatever they are earning, they are paying that money as a tax to the king. The king, no, he has levied heavy tax, very heavy tax on them, so that people in the east, they are not happy. They might be happy. Observe the modal verb used there, might. It shows a probability. So it may or it may not. It might or it might not. ಇರಬಹುದು ಬಹುದು ಅನುಮಾನಾಸ್ಪದವಾಗಿ ಬಹುದು. Here they might be happy means ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿರಬಹುದಿತ್ತು, but they are not happy. Why they are not happy? Because the king, he has laid heavy tax on them. King didn't tax them so heavily. You have laid a heavy tax on them. If the king didn't tax them so heavily, they might be happy. ಅವ್ರು ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿರಬಹುದಿತ್ತು. ರಾಜ ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆವಿಯಾಗಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ನ ಹೇರದೇ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿರಬಹುದಿತ್ತು. They might be happy. Okay. And the people in the west might be happy if they didn't have to work so long and so hard, so they might have a little time to enjoy singing and dancing. So the people who went, the soldiers and the messengers who went to the west direction, they wrote the report like that. All the people in the west, they are not happy. They might be happy when they didn't have to work so long and so hard. What they are doing? They are working very hard, not for a short time. They are working for a long time without any rest, without self-enjoyment, self-entertainment. They don't have any time for their self-enjoyment, for their entertainment. They don't have time for singing and dancing. They are working very hard, so that they are not happy. They might be happy. When they might be happy? If they have got some time for their what we can say, for their self enjoyment or self entertainment. So here I have written, they might be happy if they didn't have to work so long and so hard. They didn't have any time for their entertainment. Entertainment means singing and dancing. They are blaming the king. All the report you can see, all the report are blaming the king only. So here in the east, the king has laid a heavy tax on them. Whatever they are earning, they are paying him as a tax, so that they are not happy. They might be happy if the king has not laid a heavy tax on them. Here also, the people in the west, they are working so hard. They are not working so hard, they are working so hard for a long time, and they don't have any time for their self-happiness. They might be happy if they don't have to work so long and so hard, if they have got some time for their enjoyment. Okay. So, and the people in the north might be happy if sometimes they could see you and felt you were interested in them. So, in the north, the people has told the king has not at all come to us. He has not at all seen us, and he has not shown interest on us. Example, in your class, if your teacher, when you comes to your teacher, if she doesn't look at you, if she doesn't show interest on you, then what you feel? You feel very bad and you feel very unhappy with that. In the same way here, the people in the north, they are blaming the king. We are not happy. We might be happy if the king, if he has come to us, if he could have seen us and showed interest on us, then we might be happy. Okay. And the people in the south might be happy if your majesty would notice their industry and faithfulness and would reward them. So in the people in the south, they are also not happy. They might be happy. ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿರಬಹುದಿತ್ತು. When means if the king sometimes he could come and he would have seen their work. Industry means ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆ. Whatever they are doing, they are working very hard. They have a lot of work. They are working very faithfully. Faithfulness means very faithfully, very sincerely very obediently they are working for the welfare of the kingdom, but they are not happy because the king has not come towards them, has not gone towards them, has not what we can say, has not seen their work, has not seen their industry. Industry means kaigarike, ಅವರು ಏನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, okay, and would not reward them. Reward means it may be a amount or any gift or a single better word. So reward means not only a prize or any amount or any wealth or any like that. Reward means also a better word. A better word can make any work to render better. What it is? A better word can make any work to produce or to render better. ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾತು ಎಂಥ ಅಸಾಧ್ಯವಾದ ಕೆಲಸನೂ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. But here also people in the south, they are not at all happy. They might be happy if the king would notice their industry and would notice their faithfulness. If he has rewarded, if he has appreciated them, they might be happy. In the same way in our class also, what you expect? You expect a reward from the teachers. What reward you expect? You expect good words from us, appreciation from us, then you will be very happy. If a teacher appreciates you, if he or she shows interest on you, then you will get a lot of enthusiasm and interest in that subject. Is that so? In the same way, king, he has not done his work. He has not completed or fulfilled his responsibility and duty, so that only all the reports from all the direction, all the reports are blaming the king. You have not done this work, so that we are not happy. We might be happy if you have done this work. In this way they are telling, we are not happy because you have not done this work. We might be happy if you have done this work. In that way, every report, each and every report is blaming the king only, his irresponsibility. Okay, look at the next. The king read the reports hastily and flung them away. So the king read all the reports. What did he do? He was very hurried because he just want to get the medicine for his disease, so that he was reading the reports very, very hastily. Observe the word hastily then. Hastily means very hurriedly. Very, very hurriedly. Okay. Flung means take down. Flung means throw. What he was doing? He read the reports very, very hurriedly, and he was disappointed because every report it is blaming him. Then he was very disappointed and he flung. Flung means he threw all those reports away. But as time went by and none of the messengers returned, and more reports came to him of a people that might be happy if the king so chose, he began to read more carefully. So the king has got one work here. Before, what he was doing? He was simply lying on the bed, groaning, moaning and complaining of pain in his body. Now what he was doing? He was waiting for the report, he was reading the reports and he was throwing them away. But the time it is going on in the same way, none of the messengers, no one who has gone to bring the shirt of a happy man, no one returned from that place, and simply what they are doing? They are writing the reports, they are sending to the king. They are writing the reports, they are sending to the king, and all the reports are blaming the king only. And king, what he used to do? He used to choose the reports and he used to read those reports more carefully and he used to throw them away. That's it. Okay. One day, a little stable boy approached a stranger who was happily singing. So one day what happens? A little, observe the word there again. There is an usage of adjective. The boy, how he is? He is very, very little. Stable means, you all know, a house for, a building for horses. Stable means building for horses. Okay. A little stable boy means a boy who is guarding that stable, and he is very little. Take down the meaning there. Actual meaning of stable. Stable means it's a building, it's a shelter, for horses. Okay. Stable boy means a boy who works in a stable and takes care of the horses. A little stable boy means shelter or a building for horses. In Kannada we say kudre laya. Laya means a place where the horses were tied. Okay. Little stable boy means a boy who is in the stable and takes care of the horses. Kudre kaayuvantaha uduga. A little stable boy. He is very little. What did he do? He approached a stranger. Approach means he went near. He goes near. Okay. To go near. And one more word is there. Stranger means unknown person. He is unknown. One stranger is there and he doesn't know who is he. Okay. One day a little stable boy, he went near one stranger. That stranger is an unknown person, aparichita vyakti, and what he was doing? He was happily singing. So what he was doing? He was happily singing. Observe the word. Happily singing. Happily. What? He is singing very happily. Then what he comes to know? So he is a happy man. That stranger, not at all a stable boy. That stable boy, he looks at one stranger. That stranger is an unknown person. That stranger, what he was doing? He was singing very happily. Good afternoon, he said politely. What makes you sing so merrily? Observe the word there. That little stable boy, no, he wishes that stranger, he wishes that unknown person like good afternoon. He said politely. Politely means in a very gentle manner. Politely means in a gentle manner. Okay. In a gentle manner, and that word politely is an example for adverb. Observe the word there. Politely is an example for adverb because he said politely. Said, it is an example for verb, that is the past verb. How the verb it is going on? Politely. Politely, that word it is describing about the verb. Okay, he said politely, he wished him politely and asked him, what makes you sing so merrily? Merrily means happily. So example, you used to wish Merry Christmas, right? So we wish like that, Merry Christmas. Merrily means happily. Again, that word is also an example for what? Adverb. Okay, sing so merrily. Sing verb, so merrily adverb. Both are adverb. So happily, both are adverb because both are telling about how the action is going on. How the verb, which is the verb there, sing. How the singing is going on. How he is singing? He is singing so merrily. See here, who asked the question here? That little stable boy, he approached. He went near one stranger and the stranger was singing very happily. He went near him and he wished him, good afternoon. You are singing very merrily. What makes you sing so happily? Why? What is the reason behind your happiness? Tell me. I sing from joy, said the stranger. I love my fellow man. I own but little and want less. I am a happy man and I sing. So here he is telling the epitome of life. So how a person should be in his life. He is telling, I sing from joy. Joy means happiness, right? I sing from joy. I am so happy. So that only I am singing very joyfully. Why I am happy? Because I love my fellow men, the people who are all with me. I love them. I respect them and I own what I have. Own means nandu anta enide. Okay, what I own is, it is very little and I want very less. So that I am a happy man and I sing. So here he is telling the truth of life, how one should be, how we should be, we have to love everyone. Then only we can be happy in our life. We have to desire for less. We have to own less. When we own less, when we desire less, then we will be very happy. We should want less. As I have already told you, desire is the root cause of sorrow. When we won't desire for too much, then we will be happy. We should be satisfied and contented what we have in our life. In the same way, that stranger, no, he is very happy because he loved his fellow man. Observe the word there. Fellow means friend. In Kannada we say Sangati, Sahapati, Jotegirovnu, Jotegara, Sangadiga. Okay. So I love my fellow men. Whoever with me, I love them, I respect them. What I have, I own very little. The things what I have, those things are very little and I want very less. Nandu anta enide, tumba kadame ide. ನನ್ನ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಏನಿದೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ. So that I am a happy man and I sing from joy. A happy man, cried the little stable boy. Oh, do you want to know then that the whole kingdom is looking for you? Do you not know that the king is very ill and only if he can sleep one night in the shirt of a happy man, he can be cured. Quick, quick, take off your shirt. Quick, quick, give it to me. See here, that boy, that stable boy, that boy is very small and he was very surprised because he gets a happy man there in the kingdom, in that kingdom only, in that palace grounds only. He got that happy man and he was very happy and he was surprised and he shouted, a happy man, so you are a happy man. Oh, do you want to know? Then the whole kingdom is looking for you. Don't you know? The whole kingdom is looking for you only because our king, no, he is not feeling well and only if he can sleep one night in the shirt of a happy man, he will be cured instantly. Do you not know about that? He is asking yes or no question there. Do is a helping verb. Do you not know? Then that the whole kingdom is looking for you only. Do you not know? The king is very ill and he was prescribed to sleep one night in the shirt of a happy man. Quick, quick, take off your shirt. Observe the tone of that boy. Quick, quick, take off your shirt, remove your shirt, give it to me. I want your shirt because the king needs the shirt of a happy man. You said I am a happy man, then remove your shirt, give it to me. Quick, take off, remove your shirt. He is telling like that. The man burst into laughter. My shirt? He gasped. Why, you little fellow, I don't possess a shirt. And jumping to his feet, he gathered his tattered coat about him and walked off. So that man, that stranger, he burst into laughter. Burst means, we say, to break. He was laughing very loudly. Burst, schedule. Okay. He burst means, you can take. To break up, to break open suddenly. Okay, and one more word is there, gasp. Gasp means to take a long deep breath. He laughed a lot, he laughed loudly. One more word is there, laughter. Laughter means it is an act of laughing. Laughter means it is an act of laughing. A day without a laughter is a day wasted, right? Laughter means an act of laughing. Who laughed loudly here? That stranger laughed loudly and he gasped. He was taking his breath. When we run fastly, when we laugh loudly, we gasp. Like that. He was gasping, he was recovering his breath and he said, my shirt? Why, you little fellow? Observe here, why, you little fellow? I don't possess a shirt. Observe the word possess there. Possess means to have, okay, or own something. See, why, you little fellow? My shirt. You want my shirt? Why, you little fellow? I don't possess any shirt. I don't have any shirt. And what did he do? He jumped to his feet. Feet means plural form of foot. Pada. Feet means pada. plural form of the foot. Foot, feet. He jumped to his feet. He gathered. Gathered means he picked his coat. And how it is? It is tattered. It is completely old, very torn, and there are a lot of holes in his coat. Okay. So take down that word. Tattered. Tattered means very old, torn. Coat. Coat means what we wear. Coat. He doesn't have any shirt and he is having a coat, and that coat, it is tattered. Old and torn. So coat, it is tattered, and that coat, it is having a lot of holes in it. It has become very old and it is torn. Torn means hurried up. Okay, he doesn't have any shirt. He is telling to him, why you little fellow, why do you want my shirt? I don't have any shirt. I don't possess any shirt. And he jumped to his feet. He gathered. Gathered means he picked. Gathered. Gathered means he picked his tattered coat. He picked his old coat and he walked off. He left that place. The little stable boy flew to the palace, past the guards and the prime minister, and sped right into the royal bed chamber. So the little stable boy, he couldn't control. He just want to say this, transform this news to the king, so that he didn't wait for a moment and he was flying. Flew to the palace. Flew. It is the past form of the fly. He flew to the palace. He passed the guards. He went without caring the guards there. Without caring the guards and the prime minister, he sped. Sped means it is the past form of the speed. He sped directly with a great speed. He went directly into the royal bed chamber of the king. Observe the speed there. So the little stable boy flew. Flew means it is the past form of the fly. He flew to the palace. He passed the guards. He didn't care the guards. He passed away. He passed away the guards and he sped in a great speed. He sped right into the royal bed chamber. Royal means very luxurious bed chamber of the king. What have we here? Cried the king. And the king, he became very angry because without any permission, that little stable boy, that boy who is working in the stable, he entered his royal bed chamber, so that he was shouting. He was not crying, he was shouting in pain. What have we here? Okay. The little stable boy had to wait to recover his breath before he could talk. Oh, your majesty, he cried. The cure was right here all the time. They are right at hand, right on the palace ground. So, the little stable boy, he ran very fast, right? He ran very fast and he ran very fast and he was recovering. He was recovering his breath before he could talk. Before he could start his talk, he was recovering his breath and he said to the king, oh, your majesty, the cure for your disease. The cure means the medicine, the treatment for your disease. It was right here only all the time. It is right at my hands. It is right at my hands. It is on the palace grounds now itself. I found him. He said he loved his fellow men, owned but little, but wanted less, and the little boy's lips trembled, but he didn't possess a shirt. So he is telling. He is trembling. Tremble means to shake. Okay, to shook. In the glossary they have given as shook. Shook is the past form of the shake. To shake. So here the little stable boy, he is telling about that stranger. So your majesty, I found that happy man. The cure for your disease, it is right here itself. It is right on my hands. It is right here only all the time. It is on the palace grounds. Now only I found him. I found that happy man. And he said, what he said is, he loved his fellow man. When one loves his fellow man, he will do the work. He will do good for them. He will do some good work for them. Right? He said he loved his fellow man. He owned but little and wanted less. He said he didn't own too much, he owned very less, and he wanted also very less, but the little boy's lips, no, it trembled. But he didn't possess a shirt, but he didn't have any shirt. So here the king comes to know about the reality. He was taught a lesson from that little stable boy. He was taught a nice lesson, because the king here, he owns a lot. He owns the entire kingdom, and he is not loving his fellow man. He is not loving the people who are dependent on him. We love our people who are dependent on us. I love my father, mother, right, my sister, brother. Like that, he doesn't love anyone. The king, even he is having a lot of help. He is having the kingdom. He have everything, whatever we need in the life. Then also he is not happy, because he doesn't love his fellow man. He wants more, but what he is doing? He is not doing any work. So that here the king was realizing his mistake when he comes to know about the stranger. When the little stable boy, he describes about the stranger how he is happy, then the king was realizing his mistake. When he realized, the little stable boy said, the happy man, no, I found him. He said he wanted little, he wanted less, he loved his fellow man. All these work will not be done by the king. King, he is not doing any work, right? So in the same way here, the king comes to know about the reality. He was realizing his mistake. He was taught a nice lesson here. Then the king hung his head ashamed. The king, he hung. Hung means to bend. Okay, to bend. He is bending his head ashamed. Ashamed means very shamefully. The king, he bent his head very shamefully. Yes, the cure has been here all the time. Yes, you are right. He is telling to, he is murmuring himself. He is murmuring himself. Yes, you are right. The cure, the medicine, the treatment for my disease, for my foolishness, it is here only. He is murmuring himself. Only I can cure my own folly. Observe the word folly there. Folly means foolishness. Only I could cure my own foolishness. Right? I have to cure my own disease. What is his disease? His disease is foolishness. Only I can cure my own foolishness. And he resolved then and there to be a good king, to help his people, to rule wisely and well. He never fancied himself ill again, for he became too busy for such a folly, and so he lived to a ripe old age. So he resolved. In the glossary they have given, resolve means decided. There only he decided. Who decided here? The king, he decided there only. What he decided? I should be a good king. I should be a wise king. From now onwards, I should rule my kingdom very wisely. In a very intelligent manner, I have to rule. I have to look after my subjects. I have to work for the welfare of my kingdom. Who is deciding here? The king, he resolved. He resolved means he decided there itself, then and there to be a good king. Good king. In the beginning, a foolish king. Now he became a good king. Foolish, adjective. Good is also an adjective. King is good. Good word it is telling us about the king. King is a noun. So then and there to be a good king, he decided to rule wisely his kingdom, to help his people and to rule wisely and well. He never fancied. Observe the word fancied. In the glossary they have given fancied means imagine. He never ever imagined that I have illness in my body. He never ever imagined himself ill again, and he became very busy in his life, working for the welfare of his subjects, working for the welfare of the kingdom, helping the people, ruling wisely, taking care of all the subjects. He became very busy in the rest of his life, and he became very busy for such folly. He is what we can say, he has come to know about his foolishness and he became very busy, and finally he lived up to a ripe old age. Observe the ripe there. Ripe means ready to use. Ripe means ready to use. Okay. Ripe means ready for use. Okay. So he became very busy in his life and he lived up to a ripe old age. Ripe means, I have told you, ready for use means hannada. Okay. In the beginning he was telling, I am dying, I am at the death's door, I will die now. But at the end what happened? He lived up to a ripe old age. Hannu muduka agovargunu bali badikida. Okay. So this is what the lesson. The lesson, it told us about the king, right? In the beginning how foolish he was, but at last he was taught a nice lesson. He comes to know about the truth of life. What is the truth? The truth is, everyone, we people, what we should be, if we want to be very happy, what we have to do? We have to work. We have to fulfill our duty and responsibility, and we should have satisfaction and contentment in life. Satisfaction, contentment and happiness. When we are contented and satisfied, then happiness will come to us. Okay. And one more thing, we have to do our work and we have to live the fruit of action to the God. So ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸ ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಪ್ರತಿಫಲನ ಆ ದೇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬಿಡೋಣ. So finally, the happy cure, this lesson, it gave a message to us. We have to work. We should not escape from our work, any responsibility. If we can do that, we have to do that. We have to fulfill that work or that responsibility to the fullest. Okay. I hope you have come to know about the entire lesson, and thank you.